Hey y'all, welcome back to my Zone Deep Cleaning series. This week for Zone 2, we are back in the kitchen for part 2, finishing up the deep cleaning of the kitchen. On Monday, we are starting out with cleaning the stove and oven and toaster oven, all the major appliances like that. So we are scrubbing the grates and insides. Now I have a gas stove. I have a 6-burner gas stove, so I have these really heavy cast iron stove grates that I have to soak and then scrub a little bit. So what I do to clean these, I soak them. You see the tub that I had them in. Last night I put them in that tub with probably about a quarter cup of ammonia and just let it sit overnight, and that helps to break down the grease, oil, food buildup that might be on them from cooking. And I soak them in a sink with warm soapy water, and then I just wipe them down just like washing dishes, and I don't have to put too much scrubbing in with that. While I have the stove grate soaking, you see me spraying on, I'm spraying vinegar and water mixture and then sprinkling baking soda onto the stove and also inside of the ovens. And I'm just gonna let that sit for a little while. It kind of fizzles and kind of breaks down and does its job. So we're just gonna put all that on there and then let it sit. Now I am going to start scrubbing down these stove grates. My most used ones do have quite a bit more buildup on them, so you do see me scrubbing a couple of ones a little bit more than the others. But these take a little bit because you have to do the top, the bottom, on each little thing, and the little crevices as at the sides of it. So it takes a little bit to make sure that you get these good and thoroughly clean. And it had been a little while since I have done them, so they really did need a good cleaning. Anytime I am cleaning like heavy duty stuff like this, or stuff with grease, or using scrub pads or anything, I do make sure to wear gloves, because if not, it's gonna tear up your hands. So I do like to wear gloves when I am doing these kind of cleaning tasks. You can see that first one took me a little bit of time. I think that's the one that I used the most, so it definitely needed a little bit more cleaning. But since I am just standing here, I just grabbed a bar stool from the bar, and it's just easier just to sit while you're scrubbing. So moving on, just getting all of the rest of these scrubbed and cleaned. If you didn't see my last week, the first video in my zone cleaning series, it's kitchen part 1. So zone 1 is the first part of the kitchen, and I do a lot of cleaning out and wiping down, reorganizing the refrigerator and the pantry, also doing the same thing for the inside of the cabinets and drawers. So zone 1 is a lot of the kitchen decluttering and reorganizing and wiping out shelves and cabinets and everything like that. And this week in zone 2 is all about like the deep cleaning of the appliances and wiping down cabinets and light fixtures and all of that kind of stuff. So on Monday of this week, zone 2 is more of a time-consuming day. So it is definitely taking me all day, which that's what these things do. I mean, they take a while, but it's just, you know, you're going to do it on this day and you knock it out and get it done. The whole concept of my zone deep cleaning is to have my house broken down into different zones that I focus on each week, and each day has a different task that is assigned to it to get done that day. Most of them will take maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then like this one and cleaning out the pantry and things will take quite a bit longer, but there aren't many days that are going to take that long. So this is just to make sure that your home stays clean and you're not spending a whole week deep cleaning the entire house and then everything needs to be done at about the same time again. This is just doing different areas on different weeks, so you're not just cleaning all at one time, everything, and then they all start getting really dirty again at about the same time. So it just breaks it up, keeps an overall clean house, and so it just makes it a little bit easier to handle and stay on top of. Because along with having big tasks, if you're just gonna dedicate a whole week or a whole weekend to deep cleaning things, it's kind of hard to get motivated and started doing it because the whole task of just doing everything is daunting. But if you have just one little task you're doing each day, you can say, I'm just gonna spend 30 minutes doing this and then it's gonna be done. So that's my whole thought on the process. I am now finished scrubbing all of the stove grates here, and I was just going to show you just the dirty water from having those soaking and scrubbing everything off of those. And then you can see just the black stuff that's just in the sink. I'm just going to clean all of that up, and they turned out looking so good, just like brand new. I am giving the stove just another spray of the vinegar water solution, and then just using a sponge to give everything a good first scrubbing and wipe down. And then I'll go through different processes of washing out the sponge and then just getting all of it cleaned up. And then I just feel like that gets it really good and cleaned up with the baking soda, and it's just all natural stuff, not using any harsh chemicals, and I feel like it works good. Next, I am going to take out these filters, I guess is what you call them, in the range hood, and I'm just going to go ahead and wipe all of this down really good too. I went ahead and put the little filter vent things into soapy dishwater to let those soak for a minute, and then in just a second I'm going to wash those. But this is my stainless cleaner that I like to use on my stainless appliances, so I'm just giving this a good wipe down up here and getting all of the oil grease buildup and everything. And I've showed you the paper towels a couple times just from what's built up on the range hood, and you can't really see it until you start wiping it up. But here you see me washing these really good, getting grease, everything that just those collect, and washing those really good. I'm just going to give the cooktop one more wipe down with the stainless cleaner and anything that might have fallen from wiping the range hood. And then next I'm going to be putting all of the burners and stove grates and everything back on. So much better and looks pretty much brand new. So excited to have this task done. And next I'm going to be moving on to scrubbing the oven. This top oven is our most used oven and it was pretty dirty. So I went ahead and sprayed it with the vinegar and water solution using a sponge and just getting everything wiped down. And then I'll go through processes of removing the baking soda and buildup, and then rinsing the sponge and just getting it all cleaned and wiped out. I don't know about you, but cleaning the oven is probably one of my least favorite chore task to be done. I don't know why it's just always so daunting to have to do, but it's really not that bad once you get into it, especially if you do it regularly. Then it's not just going to build up and be nearly impossible to get it nice and cleaned. So I want to know, how often, now be honest, how often is it that you actually scrub and clean out the inside of your oven? Leave it in the comments down below. I really want to know how often you clean your oven. If you didn't see my zone cleaning video from last week, which was the first kicking off the series for zone 1, go check that out because I do more organizing and going through the kitchen and everything. But I did share my zone deep cleaning list, and it's a printable available for you for free that I made for myself and then I'm sharing with you. So it just goes through my different zones and what I do each day for the zones, and it just kind of gives you a guideline of the things that need to get done with the deep cleaning. And then it's just, like I said, a task each day, and it's just more doable. So go check that out. I'll leave the link in the description box down below to my website, and it's just a free download. But I highly recommend doing that because my goal in this whole deep cleaning series is to give you so much motivation to get all of this done in your home as well, because it's just things that you just really don't look forward to doing. You don't really want to take the time to do them. So breaking them down and just having like a guideline to go by definitely makes it easier. So go check that out, print it out, and clean along with me. Now that I have the ovens all cleaned out, I am going to scrub the oven grates. I do have 2 ovens, and my lower one isn't really that bad. We basically use our upper one the most. So I have soaked the grates just maybe 10 minutes and each, because I was just wanting to get it all done. I couldn't soak them for a long period of time because they wouldn't all fit in the sink, and I just wanted to do it all in the kitchen. And they came out so clean and didn't really even take me that long. Now, I just soaked them in warm soapy water with Dawn dish soap, and then I am using a Brillo pad with like the soap and the Brillo pad, the steel wool pad, to scrub each little grate here, and it came off so easy. I mean, you can see here it's just sloughing right off, and it looks as good as new once you've got every surface touched. And yeah, so this was very satisfying, this part, and I was very happy at how it all came out. Next, I'm going to go ahead and clean out the toaster oven while my next oven grate is being soaked for a few minutes. And this is just our toaster oven that we use for quick breakfast and to reheat things easily. So I'm just giving this a wiped down. I do have a tray at the bottom of this that catches most of the crumbs and everything, and I'm showing you that. But I keep this wrapped in foil to keep it cleaner and just it's easy cleanup. I can just throw this away, wipe the tray, and then just put another piece of foil on it. And this does get pretty messy just from how often we use it with crumbs and toasts and everything like that. So I'm just going to recover this and get it back into the toaster oven. Now I am back to scrubbing oven grates. I did want to mention, I did have some questions in my Zone 1 video about how often I do my zones and things like that. So I just wanted to do a brief rundown that each zone takes 1 week. And I only have tasks scheduled out Monday through Friday. I save the weekends for family time and activities and everything. So there's nothing that I really plan to do on the weekends. I have 9 zones in my home. It's going to be different probably depending on everyone else's home, but you can kind of adapt it to what you need to have done. But once I complete all of the 9 zones, it really depends on the time of year or what I have going on, but I'll usually take a little break before I start it all over again. It really just depends, maybe not a break at all, or maybe 1 week, maybe 3 weeks, just kind of depending on how everything's looking, how I'm feeling, how, if we have any major things coming up that's gonna not prevent me from doing these first 2 weeks, which is what takes the longest. So that's just kind of how I do it. I just start it over again and start over with Zone 1 and just keep it up. And this just keeps everything taken care of and not build up and having to do everything all at one time. And if you do miss a day, then make it up on another day. If you know that you have a lot going on maybe Wednesday of the week and you don't really have anything going on Thursday, then just combine Wednesday and Thursday and do it on Thursday. It doesn't just have to be done on that specific day. Just adapt it to what your schedule is like during the week. And if you have a super busy week and you don't get anything done for a week at a time, it's fine. Just pick it up the next week. Just as long as you're staying somewhat consistent with it, it's going to keep your house nice and clean. take a look at this. What is left in the sink from scrubbing all of these oven grates? It was pretty gross, but how satisfying. They look brand new and came out so clean. So here we are, the final product of the clean ovens. Looks so good. Along with the toaster oven and the stove and the range hood. So that is everything that I accomplished on this Monday, which definitely was an all-day task. So we are finally done with Monday and moving on to Tuesday. Now, Tuesday didn't take me as long, but on Tuesday I focus on the dishwasher. I'm wiping it down with vinegar and water and just kind of wiping down all the edges, any buildup that I may see, loose food in the bottom, I'm getting that out. So this is just giving the dishwasher a good cleaning, and then I am going to sprinkle the bottom of it with baking soda and then fill a glass jar, cup, whatever you want to, up with vinegar and then running it on a very hot cycle, just with this the only thing in there, and then it's going to do a really good cleaning of itself. And next, I am going to clean the microwave. I am putting vinegar in the microwave. Now, it is embarrassing how dirty my microwave is right now. But I turn the microwave on for 3 minutes and then I let it sit for a couple minutes. And then I am just going to use a rag and wipe down the microwave. And doing that method of cleaning the microwave makes it so much easier. You don't have to scrub it. You don't really have to use harsh chemicals or anything to clean it. Just run it with vinegar. Sometimes you can mix vinegar and water. Sometimes I put lemon juice in it. Gives it a good smell, but I did not have any lemon juice today. But it just wipes up so easy, and yeah, it's a pretty quick cleanup for the microwave this way. There we are, very clean, and it didn't even take me that long, but it had gotten so dirty somehow. I guess just all the holidays and everything, but that is finished. I'm going to disassemble the coffee pot, get any pieces that can be washed, taken off, any other countertop things that can be washed, needs to be cleaned. I'm just going to go ahead and wash those things and then let them dry for a minute. But the next thing is cleaning all of the countertop things. So anything that can be washed or wiped down is going to be wiped down. And then I'm going to wipe down the backsplash and all of the surfaces. I'm just starting out on the right side over here, removing everything from the counters, and then going to start wiping everything down. And I'm just using a Method anti-back surface cleaner. I'm just going to use that on the backsplash and countertop. I'm giving the coffee pot a good wipe down as well. Now with my coffee pot, it tells me when it needs to be descaled and like a deeper cleaning on it. So I don't do it during my zone cleaning. I just do it whenever the light comes up that needs to be done. But if yours doesn't tell you when it needs to be deep cleaned, I would go ahead and run like a descaling with vinegar, or there are some descaling solutions. So keep that in mind for your coffee pot as well. That I'm just moving right along, wiping under the toaster oven and just getting the rest of the countertop clean. So I'm just putting some wooden spoons back in my utensil caddy here just to kind of decorate a little bit for the kitchen. But this wraps up my Tuesday cleaning task. Moving on to Wednesday is wiping down all of the cabinetry, the doors, and the baseboards. So I'm just giving all of the cabinet fronts a really good wipe down, along with the handles, the pantry door, baseboards, trims, anything like that. I'm just giving all of the cabinetry and wooden surfaces in my kitchen and dining area a really good wipe down. For this, I am using, I believe, the Lysol like kitchen surface cleaner, just because I want to make sure to give it a nice good like a sanitizing too, but then also like some grease and things splatter up on the cabinets and just sticky stuff that's kind of hard to get off sometimes. So I just wanted to use something that's going to get it cleaned up really good, smell nice and clean. I don't know, it just gives it a really nice clean feeling in here. I always start working anytime I'm cleaning, regular cleaning, deep cleaning, anything. I always start from the top of the room and work my way down. So I'm starting with my upper cabinets, and then I will work my way around to doing the lower cabinets and everything. But yeah, I always start at the top and work my way down. Now, I just want to be clear that this is not the only time that I wipe down my cabinets. If I see something on my cabinets, I wipe them down pretty often, actually, because they do get dirty with kids and just being in the kitchen and cooking, especially this trash cabinet right here. These two cabinets right here do get pretty dirty. So I do wipe those down pretty regularly, but I take this time to just give everything just a really good, deep cleaning. As I'm doing this, my kitchen is smelling so nice and clean and just looking so good. I did not realize really how dirty the cabinets were, and you can't really tell until you actually start cleaning them and then you look at them afterwards. And I'm just thinking, man, they were so dirty and I didn't even realize it. So that's why it's a good idea to do these things on the regular basis. I am moving on to cleaning down the inside of the back door here, just giving that a wipe down, wiping down the baseboard over here in our dining area, and then wiping down around the window trim and everything right there. And then I am also taking the time to do this desk area over here, which is right by the kitchen and in the whole dining area. So giving that a whole good wipe down as well with all of the cabinetry. So there we have it. This is the clean kitchen after Wednesday, wiping down all of the cabinetry and doors and everything. And boy, did I not even realize how bad it needed it. So moving on to Thursday is cleaning the light fixtures, the vents, and the windows and any glass in the areas. So I am starting out with the chandelier over our dining table. I am taking all of the glass shades off and giving the chandelier a good dusting, and then I'm wiping it down. To wipe it down, I'm just using a microfiber cloth, just a wet microfiber cloth, and just giving that a really good wipe down, and then also cleaning the bulbs because those get pretty dirty as well. Moving along to the island pendants as well, I'm giving those a good dusting. Also dusting off the air conditioner vents and our recessed lighting here in the kitchen, just dusting those. I'm going to take the bulbs out of these and then wipe these down really good too with the microfiber cloth wet with water. Next, I've moved on to cleaning our glass upper cabinets. I don't do these when I wipe down the cabinets just because different cloths and different products and everything, but I am just using my vinegar and water mixture that I always use for my glass and mirrors to wipe down these glass upper cabinets. My camera just died, I didn't realize it, but I just hand washed the glass globes that goes on my dining chandelier. You can see those on the drying mat, but I wanted to wash those instead of just wiping them down because I feel like it gets them really good and a lot cleaner. So I did that, and then I'm wiping down all of the windows in the kitchen and dining area just with my vinegar and water and microfiber cloth. I'm just drying the glass globes for my dining chandelier, and then I'm going to put all of those back on, and they look so much better. It's really crazy. I know I've said it earlier about you don't really realize how dirty things actually are until you clean it, and then you realize, oh, those didn't really look that good. But these glass globes were pretty dirty. So that wraps up my Thursday cleaning task. Now for the last day of this week on Friday is wiping down the table and chairs and the bar stools and any seating surfaces that you have. Of course, I wipe down my table and chairs on a regular basis, but not always the legs and the base of the table, everything like that, unless, you know, something gets spilled and a whole bowl of cereal is knocked over upside down and splatters everywhere, which happens. So I am just using my N-Dust cleaner and furniture polish and a microfiber cloth to get the table wiped down really good because it is wooden, and I'm just wiping down every single surface. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad that you've found my channel, and I would love it if you hit that subscribe button if you like these type of videos so you don't miss out on my future deep cleaning videos. And don't forget to hit the like button for the motivation, and follow me over on Instagram at My Organized Tribe. So there we have it. My kitchen is completely deep cleaned from the top to the bottom. I hope this gave you a ton of motivation to get your kitchen deep cleaned and some tips along the way. Don't forget to go over and download your free zone deep cleaning list from my website. And I will see you next week in my zone 3.